call to you, my blessed guards and guardians. I honor you. I honor you, my guards and guardians of my left and my right side. I honor your trust in me to hear you and hear that which is important in the moments that it is. I honor your faith in me, and I honor this beautiful journey of life, of co-creation, of walking with you and learning from you and remembering what we mean to each other. I honor you, each and every one of you, my blessed guards and guardians. I love you. I honor, they should have been first, absolutely. Mother, you are always first, for my guards and guardians have taught me so. So please pardon me for not going in proper order. I honor you, Mother Almighty, creatress of all that is. You who provide me food, nourishment, sweet waters, and more. You who protect me night and day. You who heal our beloved fields, protect the lands, and protect the children. You who, the lover of mankind and creator, creatress of the impossible. I honor you and I send you my love. I honor you, my kin of the natural world, of the sea, of the air, of the minerals, and of inanimate forms. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of the great web of life. And I most am grateful too for your support unto me in the many ways, shapes, and forms that you do support me and mankind. I honor you. I'm grateful to you, Spirit of the Ether, making it possible for that which is done in the ether to be done, and for the ether to be part of the web of life. I honor the beautiful elements of life. I honor the journey of walking with Spirit and remembering what I mean and we mean to one another. And I honor mankind for being the loving, caring beings that we are, and for braving the journey no matter what, for braving the journey from whence we come to do what must be done because it is right and just in love and it is fair. Mother Almighty, Earth, thank you for carrying me in your womb and nourishing me in all the ways known and unknown in your womb. I honor you. I honor this moment and all which that is to be remembered. May it be remembered in truth. May truth come and sit beside me. Bravery, do not leave my sight. And the beautiful other life forms that we know as emotions, I ask you to please sit beside me, for light and brightness must shine. Thank you, each and every one of you, the web of life. And I honor my higher self, my soul self, for never leaving me, no matter what the journey was. Thank you. Thank you, my higher self. Thank you. And I also ask you humbly, guards and guardians, as I speak on this topic, that I'm about to speak on to my brethren, please come through in the ways that you know I receive. Come through, and perhaps I may be forgetting something that is pivotal and is optimal to be remembered in what I'm about to share. I ask you, my guards and guardians, to please come through and allow me to channel in the ways that it will be helpful to those that are needing to hear what needs to be heard. So I humbly send this request to you, my guards and guardians. I invite you to speak, and please send me your suggestions and inputs too. Yeah, okay. Hi there. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you. Thank you very much. It means a lot. And I'm hoping that for some that would like bravery and courage to sit beside them, for them to subscribe, may it be so. As many of you do subscribe to this platform, Healthy Accord, may the message spread out throughout where it needs to go and reach the ears that are needing to hear it, for them to be where they want to be, to feel good and emancipate, free themselves from whatever it is that is bogging them down and stopping them from not living in the full way that they want to. So as you know, as many subscribers allow things to flow and allow a lot of people to discover the platform. So I invite you to subscribe and or share this video in spaces that is supportive and it is well received. In today's topic, I wish to share how to start your spiritual journey. If you've taken a look at some of my recordings that I've done here, then you may have heard me mention about my past. I'll share it briefly. I reincarnated in this lifetime via West Africa. Thankfully, because of that reincarnation in West Africa, I have been aware of spirit. Let me draw closer to the mic because the fan is running, so I want to be clear as possible. Because I reincarnated to West Africa, I have always been aware of spirit. Not spirit like the type that Christians speak of. No. Spirit as in, unfortunately, what is depicted in many movies and films in a wrongful, distorted way. In some of those instances, that's spirit. I've been aware of spirit, and thankfully, whatever happenings that has been occurring within me and around me, I kept quiet about it since I was a child, and because I grew up in the household that I did, it wasn't well received, so I kept quiet about a lot of that. That has been a great thing. Yes, keeping quiet about it has been great in that I have been able to self-study, test on myself, and experiment, and just have intimate moments with spirit, intimate moments with guards and guardians, and allow a beautiful blossoming to happen without a lot of interference, without a lot of questioning and doubt of the process. And thankfully, removing from West Africa and transporting here to North America, specifically United States, this emancipation, this flying is now possible. Flying as in the freedom to speak openly about spirit and not be fearful that someone is going to poison you because they feel that doing away with you would get them closer to their white pearly gates, and they're doing someone else just work if they got rid of something that is an interference to their process. So that's why most Africans, unfortunately, do not speak of spirit openly, because they just don't want to be hurt in that way, because you can't put something like that past people. People might poison you. If they don't physically attack you in the daytime, they will do other ways to want to hurt you. So thankfully, I'm in a space and place now that is very ripe for it. So like I said, this topic is about how to start your spiritual journey. I had the leg up because I was aware of spirit. So walking out and going into nature and seeing images in tree trunks, or sometimes if there's a blank wall, certain images will come through. Seeing that didn't make me go running for the hills, or didn't make me afraid. It was just something, like I said, I kept it to myself because not many people are talking about it, and I also did not want to disturb other people's comfort. So I just went about my 9 to 5 job, and I was able to navigate. So without any further ado, let's get started. What is the first thing I would recommend for you to start your spiritual journey? Well, the first thing, they say hindsight is 2020, right? The very first thing I would recommend, top of the list, like a must, you have to go around spaces that has trees and water feature. I know those are two things, but they are roped in one. Those are two things, but they are roped in one. That's the first thing. I would say go to nature, but realistically, most of you possibly live in city spaces, or you dwell in spaces perhaps where going to a hiking location is not possible. I was there. I was that lady. I lived in many cities before, and that's where this beautiful blossoming of the spiritual journey happened. I didn't even know I was on one. I kid you not. I did not know I was on one. But when I was done with a 9 to 5 job, there was just this heavy energy, heavy, dense energy. I would feel tired. I'm yawning, constantly yawning. And people are like, "Ooh, girl, you need coffee." I drink the coffee, I'm still tired. And I kid you not, what actually took away that dense energy was when I went outside, walked by some type of pond where they have water sprouting up, and thankfully there are still trees in the city, so that's a plus. We always want to root for the trees, okay? When I would walk in those spaces, the moment I got home, oof, it's as if I took the nicest shower you could ever want to take. I felt good. I felt refreshed. Because I'm slow, I am slow sometimes. Because I'm slow, I did not catch on to this until much later. How much later? Maybe 5+ years later. I am one of those people. I am magnetically attracted to things, people, places that makes me feel good. Constantly going around trees, constantly, specifically, again, places that have trees and a water feature. Go for a walk in your nearby park where, you know, they have a water fountain for the kids to bathe in. Just go walk in there. And I kid you not, please resist the urge to please put your phone away. Do not have the phone earbuds, you know, blaring in your ear. Please find the strength to not do that. To not do that. Because if you walk away, for some reason, what's coming to mind right now, or the image that came to mind, if I went for a walk in the forest and I had my earbuds in the whole time and music just blaring, I equate that to as if I'm taking a shower and I put a electrical something in the shower spot where I'm bathing. It's going to electrocute me. That's the image that just came through right now. It will not help you, it will hurt you. So I think that's what that very glaring, distortive metaphor is meant to explain. You do not want to have the earbuds in while you are taking a walk, especially if you have those heaviness around you and you just want to feel good as you're out there doing so. I'm not saying don't take your phone, but resist the urge to take off the headphones. Yes, there'll be noise around you. It's life. It's noisy. There'll be noise around you. It's part of the ambience. It's part of the ambience, the sound of life. So that's the first thing I absolutely must, that is a must on a spiritual journey. How to start your spiritual journey? First thing, find a place that has water and trees and go for a walk there regularly. The next thing that I would recommend is sound. Sound as in, what music do you like? I invite you to explore your musical sensibilities. Many of us grew up in a place where music is experienced in from the drumming to the various types of percussion instrument. Very fine sounds that are so sweet, elegant, and savory that it makes the heart. Sometimes it can incite tears, and then sometimes you just cannot help but sway. I grew up with that type of sound. I came to America. The sound that I heard through music, well, I went through different types of my journey. I won't tell you all of it right now in this video, but as someone who used to go to the nightclub, I can tell you that was one type of sound. When I was in a certain space with, that sound is not healing. I can just tell you it is not healing. Having someone call you the B word is not empowering. Having someone just take the rawness of their personal experience but then want to paint that over you, it is not empowering. So when my clubbing days was what it was, and I noticed that it was not making me feel good. Like I said, I'm a magnet. I am attracted to anything that helps me feel good. So as I noticed that was not making me feel good, literally piano instruments, piano songs without any vocals, and I was able to find folk music. Folk music has been the breath of fresh air on my spiritual journey. So as you navigate that, I don't know what your personality is, what your temperament is as it applies to other cultures. I don't. And that is one I will invite you to explore with care, explore with a lot of sensitivity and heart. You don't need to go and ask other people for their permission and such. Just enjoy music, because one thing I have heard a particular artist say, I was reading the papers and I don't remember the particular artist name right now. They say when they make music, this artist said, they do not make it for themselves. They release it out into the world. And that might be true for a lot of artists, you know. So when they birth those music, those recordings, they are releasing it freely for any beautiful soul who feels called to hear the message or vibe within, to align with it if they so choose to. So I didn't have to go ask permission from the Celtic group of people for me to fall in love with Celtic music as I have. I didn't have to go ask for permission from the Asian culture to fall in love with Asian sounds, specifically Chinese instrumental sounds. You know? So allow your heart to guide you as it applies to sounds, musical sounds. That is the second step of your spiritual journey. The difference is night and day. Night and day. Some sounds you listen to, the tears need to flow, and just let them. Some sounds you listen to, your feet is like, we need to start dancing right now, and that's what you need to do in that moment. Okay? Do that because you are honoring your body. And I'm just going to hop in there and say, in that way, your body is communicating with you. When the tears want to flow, allow it to flow. Your body is communicating with you. It is a system that loves you, and it constantly wants to communicate with you. There's a lot I have to say about that. As a medium, there's a lot I have to say about that, but we will leave that one for another day. So, navigate sound from your heart space. Navigate sound. Explore different genres of sounds. And I hope that serve you well and lead you to a healthy accord. So the third thing that I want to suggest to you as it applies to how to start your spiritual journey is books. Books. As you hang out in those spaces, as you do step 1 and 2, and this is, you don't feel compelled to do this in any particular order. You know, you can listen to the music first before you go out for a walk. You can read the book first, so it doesn't have to be in any particular order, okay? It's not that strict. The third thing I found on my journey was books. Books, reading. What led me to those books were dreams. Dreams have been happening in the real life sense, as in the lucid. I'm someone who has been having lucid dreams just every waking moment of my life. Waking moment, yes. When you sleep, you are still awake, but in a spiritual sense. Every waking moment of the sleeping life, lucid dream is a thing. So based on the encounters and experience had, certain things that would stand out, and again, that little voice, when it would speak, I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. I would go and just type in a lot of different phrases, and I kid you not, this is where the intimacy of your spiritual journey is paramount. I was not plugged into any Facebook group. I was not plugged in at that time. I was not plugged into any YouTube whatever. I certainly did not bring this topic up to girlfriends that I hung out with. People that would recognize me, because now my face on here is a big commitment. Family members who are in West Africa, they could see me, and I'm ready for them to hear that I am walking my path. So when the dreams lead to whatever they led to, I would just go and type in random phrases because I didn't know what I was searching for. But the journey has to be this intimate, because you can't go asking others to overly analyze and pick at your experience. And that's where books come in. As I read, sometimes a page, a word, a passage a specific imagery that the narrator or the author is talking about. It will literally give me the guidance that I need for 3 months of my life. It will literally give me the guidance that I need for 1 year of my life, or 1 month, or for that week, or for that day. That is how intimate spiritual journey and spiritual awakening is. And in saying that, I really encourage you oftentimes to tread lightly with just blasting your experiences out there with people. You want to tell people everything. You're excited that you dreamt about this and that happened, or you saw this vision and that happened, or this synchronicity thing happened. Well, welcome to your life. Synchronicity is part of life. It's something, that's how spirit communicates with us. So perhaps in your excitement, you just want to shout it to the moon that you are now living this new way. Well, I encourage you to possibly temper that, because it is an intimate experience, very intimate. So, there are others out there who want to throw mud in purity, who want to murky things up. So be protective of the sacredness of that which is spiritual journey, spiritual awakening. It is an intimate thing. It is a sacred thing. So, and I say that because right now I'm not going to list to you any such books that I read. There was a whole slew of them. But what I will say is, I felt and I still feel that my journey has been full of a lot of richness, because, well, the books that I read, the author were both black and white. So that means I didn't go out there specifically looking for the author to speak to me and have a particular skin color, eye color, hair texture. I wasn't looking for any of that narrowness. So Spirit was able to just open the way for me as fast as possible. As vast as possible. And as I navigated the different types of books, I didn't even know what I was looking for. I'll just give you this one example. It's a teensy winky into my spiritual journey, and then I'll just leave it there. I ran running to a library. I'm gonna say this, and if it sounds how it sounds, then that will be that. You know when you turn on light, let me just bring it close. Have you seen fireflies? Okay, you have seen fireflies, right? Now, in the daytime and nighttime, that's why I went running to the library. In the daytime and nighttime, imagine a firefly, but in your space, you just see the ball of light like a firefly. I'm not saying it is a firefly, but I need to pinpoint to you the type of light that I saw. Okay, so imagine that you have seen a firefly, but it's just right as I'm sitting in this chair, it's like right there, hovering right in front of me. It happened in the daytime, and I'm like, maybe the light reflected a little bit differently on that window. Maybe the sun cast a little bit too much of a glare on that window, so that's why I was able to see that. Maybe. And I kid you not, that same day, at nighttime, laying there, all the lights are off, and the same ball of light right there. And I'm like, okay, I'm not smoking weed, I'm not drunk, and I'm definitely not asleep. Something's up. And the intimate part of this journey is, as I was out there in the library navigating books, I kid you not, the small voice that came to mind was about light. I'm like, okay, I've seen light night and day. It's hovering. How is this possible? How is this possible? And spirit led me to Einstein book about the law of relativity. Something about light. Einstein wrote about it, and it was a very mathy book. I wasn't interested in navigating the math part of it. Yeah. I was reading that entire book. I didn't know what I was looking for. I just skipped all the math equations that he wrote, and I was just reading his explanations of the equations he was doing. And when I read the passage that I read, I just sat there in my living room, and I was like, okay. And the end and the rest is her story. I said, okay. Because Einstein, in that particular, I don't know what the title is, he wrote a lot of books about light, and it was a particular one. It's not a big book. It's this much thick. When he explained what he explained in that book, the explanation that my being was looking for, at least my human consciousness was looking for, he condensed it in the way that my consciousness understood what I saw is real. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is not weird then. And I went on living my life, and spirit observed my ancestors. They observed how I reacted, and they observed as they spoke to me in other ways. I was able to basically navigate as they spoke through me, around me. So through books, I can't mention to you anything particular. You will need to trust your intuition. You will need to trust the specific words that jump up at you in your mind. And then you will need to follow that trail, and the specific book that you are meant to find, you will find it, and you will read it, and it will serve you. That's basically it. The books are out there to serve you on this, exploration that we call spiritual journey. So that's the third thing, books. It's an intimate process. You need to trust yourself and protect the sacredness of the spiritual awakening journey. The fourth thing, these suggestions are coming out of my own experiences and how very loosey-goosey. Basically, that's what it is. Because like I said, I wasn't plugged into your MySpace. Wow, I'm old. Your Twitter, your Instagrams. I definitely didn't have TikTok because I didn't have Facebook per se. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, well, how comfortable are you with talking with yourself? Because the fourth thing I would say is talk to yourself. Yes, that's the fourth thing. I would put dreams at the fourth thing, but we will come to that. That would be number 5. I think so. Talking to yourself is absolutely crucial. I don't know why that is. I just have found it super helpful, super refreshing. Talking to yourself is crucial. It allows you to air things out. It allows you to cry and hear your voice. It allows you to just ask yourself, am I crazy? So and so said what they said, but I don't know what. Talk to yourself. Please talk to yourself. It is very important. And in some way, shape, or form, as you talk to yourself, it allows some type of comfortability for them, spirit, them, to come through. They're not going to come through like rushing like that, no. Like in tidbits of way because it's a conversation that you're having with yourself and they are part of you. And it also allows you, as you air it out, so that you can release some of the pressure from whatever it is that you are feeling. You can release some of that pressure. So talk to yourself. I understand therapy is great. I'm not going to mention therapy in this particular juncture of the video of spiritual awakening. I believe in therapy. I have a separate video and discussion around that. I want to speak candidly about therapy. So I'm not putting therapy in this category of spiritual journey, spiritual awakening. No, talking to yourself. Talk to yourself, please. So that's number 4. Moving on from that, I'll come to dreams. Because there is no semblance of an order that this needs to happen in. When you have these dreams, whether lucid, sometimes vision, whatever it be, and actually I'll interject and say, if your dream is scary, you wake up at nighttime, please see number 4 that I talked about, talking to yourself. As in, verbally state what you do not want from that particular scary dream that you just had. It was scary. So speak to it. Speak that which you do not want from it. So dreams, well, part of the spiritual journey, dreaming is paramount. We all dream. Did you know at some point of my life, I had the disbelief that I didn't dream. I was brand spanking new in the workplace, and maybe for some reason, I stopped, actually as I'm saying or about to complete the sentence now, the understanding has come to me. As a child, I remember I used to dream, and I would tell adults. And when I would tell them, the very next day, something that I told them, something would happen. And perhaps it was a warning. I didn't know. All I knew as a child, I was like definitely under 10 years old. I remember when that would happen. I was under 10 years, and as a child, I used to sleepwalk. And they would tell me, while I was in the sleepwalking state, they would tell me things that I was telling them. I kid you not, these Christian adults that I grew around, they wouldn't fully disclose to me what I told them in the sleepwalking state. For some reason, they just withheld that. So sleepwalking happened when I was a child, and dreaming and then telling the adults around me. And then I realized that when the stuff would happen, maybe the next day or a few days later, they would come and tell me, they were like, hey, you told me 3 days ago about something or another. How did you know that? Like, they would come at me with that energy. So I say I'm recounting that childhood experience because as I became an adult, for some reason, I think I convinced myself and told myself to stop remembering my dreams. By the law of manifestation, of course, that happened, because what you ask for, we manifest, especially if the energy is like strong in it. So what I was explaining previously to tell you that, in the past, I used to believe, around 23, I used to believe that I did not dream. That was a belief that I had. In the workplace, people were around me, talking about, I had the craziest dream. And then they wanted to rope me in the conversation, and I would just tell them, I don't dream. And they just thought it was the weirdest thing at all. They were like, what are you talking about? Everyone dreams. I'm like, no, not me. I don't dream. In that phase of my life, that was absolutely true. It was true in that I did dream, but I found a way to not remember it. So in factual truth, I didn't remember my dreams because I didn't want to. And as I just what I just explained about my childhood, I think that memory came through to help me understand that yes, you did that because your childhood had this warpedness in it. So as an adult, yeah, I was able to stop myself from remembering my dreams. So I mentioned dreams as number 5 because some people do dream, but they make themselves not remember it. So as part of your spiritual journey, I am happily here to just share with you quickly. You can remember your dreams back, especially if you are one that you're like, you want to remember it and you feel like you are not remembering all of it in the clarity that you want. Just speak the simple sentence of each night before you go to bed or as you're laying in bed, speak the simple sentence. I want to remember my dreams and I want to remember it with clarity and with truth when I wake up. Now, of course, that is just a simple phrase. You are a free, brilliant being. Feel free to add more specifics to that sentence. When you wake up, what does wake up mean? When you wake up to pee, do you want to remember it then? Or when you wake up several hours, like 10 o'clock in the morning, that's when you want to still remember it? You will need to be specific when you are trying to manifest remembering your dreams, as we all dream. So as someone who really wanted to put extra effort in remembering, at the time, I didn't speak those words per se. What I just tried hard doing through the power of actions, I would just have books and pen and I would try to just jot as much down as possible. And it was years later on the spiritual journey, I realized that, oh, okay, I can speak things and then it happened too. So you can do it 2 ways. You can speak it or you can just go the other route too, to like jot things down. So dreaming is a beautiful process of the spiritual journey, spiritual awakening. It is there where we get to remember our beautiful ancestors. We get to remember our very pivotal, important part in this web of life. We get to experience life, and just growing with the journey. I can say it has been the space also where spirit, my guards and guardians, have been able to communicate with me, send warnings, send insights, send inspiration, send healing, send blessing. The list goes on. Through the dream state, through vision, and all those beautifulness has been able to happen there, especially as it applies to the collective. I'm here in America. Whatever that is happening out there that you can describe in the most gruesome way, it's been happening for a while. It's been happening for a while. So oftentimes you and me, all humans are sensitive. We are sensitive beings. As we are sensitive and we care for one another, Spirit oftentimes will send you messages and guidance on, oh, okay, this is what's happening. This is how things are being taken care of. So don't try to worry so much. Spirit don't like when we worry so much. That's not a good energy to be in at all. Because it is trying to make way for something to come and interfere, something that looks like fear to come and interfere. So spirit don't like when we worry too much. So in the dream state, those disclosure and, oh, by the way, here is what's coming down the pipeline, by the way, such and such. And as those disclosures, information came through, I was able to trust the process and forge on. Trust the process, forge on, care for myself, continue my spiritual practices, continue just being the light for me, for my surrounding, for my house. Just trust the process. And dreams, I love you. Thank you so much. Dreams are pivotal in that way. Trust the process. Trust the process. You have to trust the process. So dreams are that. And sometimes jotting them down, it helps us remember. And yeah. So if there are any more questions around dreams, because the entire internet is filled up with a lot of interpretations around dream. I am not a dream diviner. No, I'm not. But if you do have any particular questions as to dreams, perhaps there might be some sources that I lean on to navigate and interpret my dream that I may share with you. So if there are more questions, feel free to comment them below, and I ask that you just write question. Before you type out your question, just put question, comma, and then go ahead and write your question out, so that way I'm able to sift through them and see which are questions. So dreams are number 5 of the spiritual journey. Well, I'm going to put this one in there, okay? I intend to make a separate video about it, but it also need to be mentioned. Ancestors. Ancestors are part of the journey. Number 6. Ancestors are part of the spiritual journey. As I was talking to myself, dancing, crying, going out in spaces where there is water and trees, and as I was just living, whether I falter, whether I'm growing in some phases, whether I'm backsliding, no matter what, I noticed that Spirit started chatting with me through ancestors. Who are ancestors, you might ask? Ancestors are you and me, human beings. Spirit sent me ancestor guardians through human beings of different skin color, complexion, hair color. The person will be talking to me, they will say a sentence, they will say a word, just like that. That is the piece of the puzzle that I was looking to fill for something that I was working on, and I would just take that and run with it. So humans are our ancestors. Ancestors are the birds. Spirit, communicated with me through our winged ancestors. I honor you, my winged guards and guardians. Thank you so much for all that you do and did do on this journey. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you. Spirit will send us ancestors, our winged guards and guardians. Is your butterfly, whatever winged being that you can think of, you name it. When they interact with us in the sun hours, observe that. Observe them when they come around you. Just observe how they are. Because in them being around us, with them being around us, my English, we are able to, something happens. Like I said, it is an intimate process. So I will stop myself oftentimes from just trying to speak too knowingly about it, because my spiritual journey definitely is different from many others, and yours would be too. Yours will be tailored and fine-tuned to you. How accepting are you of other complexions around you would make it possible for Spirit to send you messages through almost anyone and everyone, even the child. Yeah, not even, most especially the child, not even. Let's just restate that. Let me restate that. Most especially, Spirit speaks through children. So, are you accepting to receive messages from children, regardless of your age or stage in life? Are you accepting to hear what a child has to say? Are you accepting to hear what a homeless person has to say? Regardless of their age group, creed, or domination, are you accepting for them to speak to you, give you some type of information. If you are, well, spirit speaks to those individuals because by the laws that there be, and there are laws, not human laws, nature laws, the cosmic laws, supernatural laws. By laws that there be, they are ancestors, humans, the winged ones, the four-legged. Four-legged can be a lot of beings. Some of you are just naturally attracted to elephants. You're attracted to cats and dogs. Well, ta-da! Your ancestor is literally your best friend. They're with you. Some of you just love parrots. And some people cannot stand parrots, but that's whatever. Some people don't like certain animals. Some people just like, oh my God, I can't get enough. Some people love reptiles. Some people are like, there you go. Those are your ancestors. They're there with you. And as I say that, I have to speak on this beautiful moment of the spiritual journey. This video is going to be a tad long because it just is. I have to speak on this beautiful, beautiful moment. I was in this part of Maryland and I was pondering on making an important decision about job, about where I was wanting to live, about job and about where I was wanting to live. And Spirit sent me this important reminder. Spirit sent me the beautiful message through a fox. I have never seen a fox in my life, just through TV programs. That day I was driving and for some reason I took a different part of the road because I was trying to bypass traffic. So I took this little back road, and as I was about to cross the street, because I was taking a back road, I honor you, ancestor of the fox. Thank you so much for communicating with me that day. Thank you very much. Thank you. As I was about to drive my car to cross the road, I looked, and there the fox was about to cross the road. And the fox was just there waiting to see if cars were coming. And it was somewhat of an early morning, definitely before 12 o'clock. Definitely before 12 o'clock. I must have been going to work, I think so, I don't know. And I saw that the fox was just calmly, diligently checking to see if the cars were coming, and then it crossed the street. In that encounter of the animal, and I kid you not, it was a year later when I bought another book about animal totems. It was that long before I looked into it. So I had no idea that there is such a thing as animal totem. Something in my heart just knew and understood the message of seeing the fox and observing its behavior of being on the other side of the road and observing its mannerism in that moment. And when it crossed the road, I knew exactly what to do in the place that I wanted to move and the move that I wanted to make career-wise, because those were two very important things at that moment of my life I was struggling with. I was struggling to make that decision for other external reasons. When I saw the fox made that move, I knew exactly what I had to do. And I did it, and stuff just have been ease, y'all. Ease looks like peace. A little bit of a breath of fresh air. A little bit of a breath of fresh air. And that is something I cannot stress enough about the spiritual journey. Where I was in my life as I am navigating these things, in the very first statement that I said to you, I said I worked my 9-to-5 job, dense, heavy energy, and how to clean off that energy. I would run towards wherever I could find trees and a water feature. Those two things had to be there. Wherever I can find trees or water feature, and I would just run to them. I was in a place where I wasn't I wasn't living in the fullest way that I wanted to, but I knew I wanted to be happy, and damn it, I was going to fight for it. I was going to fight for it. So these suggestions, the sixth part of it, ancestors, the four-legged beings, are part of ancestors. Did you know that the wind, yes, that force of nature that can pick up things and move it from places if it so choose to, the element of the wind, did you know that it speaks? It has a voice. When I heard it, again, I'm glad that I don't drink or smoke, because I would literally just I would have ignored a lot of ways that ancestors spoke to me. I would have dismissed it as, oh, okay, that's just the alcohol, or maybe I had too many cigarettes, or maybe I had too many other things to literally miss what is literally in front of my eyes. The wind has a voice. The wind has a voice. I heard it a couple of times, and I was just like, did I just hear what I think I heard? Oh, you sound really soft and sweet. So I say that to say, yes, a phenomenon of nature, like the wind, is part of ancestors. The phenomenon like the wind is part of ancestors. So I'll leave it at 6. 6. Follow in any such an order, you know, and may your journey be well, and may you be well. May your journey be well, and may you be well. Thank you very much for listening to these 6 ways of how to start your spiritual journey. And before I close, I am going to provide this bonus. It is a huge undertaking, but I am going to commit to doing it. I'm going to commit. It's tough. It's tough for me in that I have my family, you know, to take care of, and of course myself, because I am still on a spiritual journey. I'm still on a spiritual journey. So in having all of those external and internal commitments, I'm going to and I call on that which I need to survive and succeed with this commitment. May it be so. May it be successful. I am committing to sharing with you all the practical, synergetic ways that the moon days can make our day-to-day life easy. I've experimented with this for 2 years. I was cussing up a storm because I was like, this is so easy. This is magic, but it's so easy. And the ancestors of the cosmos, basically, I had a lot of stuff to say about it, because I'm like, why did I not know this sooner? And who kept this away from me? I was so pissed. And of course, I remember my ancestors were like, don't get angry. Just always try to keep your keep calm. So I am committing to sharing with you the practical, synergetic ways the lunar days can make our lives easy. The goddesses, the gods, the powers that be, the true powers that be of the cosmos, they've shared and given us all that we need, but under the guidance of the lunar days, which incorporates a lot And I intend to start that with the first lunar day. So basically, the new moon. When the new moon happens, from the new moon past the full moon and until the moon gets new again. And that's a lot because when the new moon happens, there are certain specific things that one must do to prepare themselves spiritually so they are not caught up in a spiritual storm. You know how they tell you, they provide you safety tips. Oh, when there's a hurricane, you should go in the bathtub, and if the tub can flip over, you should flip the tub over so that you protect yourself from the hurricane. Or if you have those shelter shelter spaces built, you want to go in there. There are spaces that are like basement. We in our day-to-day life have those safety tips when there are these natural physical storms coming through. And the stuff that made me peeved and vexed when I found this out was that part of our day-to-day life, spiritual storms do come through. You don't have to see Hurricane Katrina, Isaac, or the many names that they have called these phenomenons. You don't have to see those physical aspects. There are spiritual aspects of storms that happen. Sometimes every other day, sometimes 3 days in a row. And I found that out because I started the spiritual journey. That's why this is super important. It is super important, you, my brothers and sisters, it is super important that we get aware of our birthright and align with the light. Get aware of your birthright and align with the light. In doing so, you withstand any spiritual storm. Well, that is part of nature. Because that's how it is designed. The spiritual storms are part of nature. So I'm committing to go through that for one lunar phase. So, and that's it. That is the bonus of this video. So the new moon, so as the storm is happening, basically, I mean, I'll do my best. And this is a big thing, y'all. This is a big thing. It's not small. It's not small that I'm committing to, because when a new moon is happening, I'm not interested in engaging with this or the tablets or the electronic device. I'd rather be engrossed in my spiritual practices, preparing myself, protecting myself, my household, and doing things that I need to do. But this other commitment that I'm putting on is makes things a lot. So I really hope it meets the ears that needs to hear it, so that they can prepare themselves for the natural spiritual storms that there be, because they're just part of nature. They're just part of nature. They're just part of nature. That completes this video recording. Thank you all so much for sticking with me till over an hour, and I hope this is the only longest video I've ever done. Thank you all so much, and I'm grateful. I am grateful to have gone through what I went through, and I'm so grateful that the ears that want to hear this have this platform. Thank you all. Thank you, the mineral beings, you that are part of the technology. You are ingrained in the technology. You are the web of life. So I honor you, our electronic devices, electricity, and many others that support the electricity to come through our devices. I honor you, the web of life. Thank you all so much for connecting us to one another. This is truly a magical experience because you are a part of it. You support the process in every which way, and I'm grateful. May you be well.